back with a haul video, and it's stacked up a bit. It's been, I think, 4 or so weeks since I filmed my last one, and since then I've gotten some pre-orders, and I went to the city and picked up a few things in person, and then I got a couple care packages from friends, as well as a few merch items that have come in. So I'm just going to get right into it, and as usual, I'll have timestamps below. First, I have Volume 3 of Hate Me But Let Me Stay, a BL Omegaverse series, and it's one that I do like quite a lot. It's actually my favorite Omegaverse series, and I'm really excited that we got this in English. It's ongoing in Japan with chapters serializing right now. That'll be in Volume 7. And then there's also a spin-off series that follows 2 characters that we meet later in the series that just finished in Japan in 2 volumes, so I'm hoping that one will get picked up as well. But the premise for the first volume of this series is about this guy here who is a single father who had a teenage pregnancy, and he meets this guy who is a few years younger than him, and as the story goes, it progresses not super quickly, but it starts with him in high school and him just out of high school, and into Volume 2, they're both already adults and working, same with Volume 3, he's working, and then just seeing how their family grows and how they overcome past traumas and the things that have held them back in the past. So really happy to have this one. And I got it a few weeks ago and I still haven't read it yet, though I am caught up on the Japanese chapters, but looking forward to reading this one soon. Next is A Business Proposal, Volume 8. And I've just been collecting this series as the volumes are releasing. I have read it digitally before, and I've been waiting to do my read-through of my physicals until the series completes. And we're almost there. I think it's at 9 volumes or maybe 10 volumes. It is completed already in Korean, so we're just waiting for the last couple English volumes. But this is one that I like a lot. It is a office romance that follows a girl and her boss and a fake relationship that they get into when she goes to a marriage meeting in place of her friend, and it ends up being with her boss. But the series has a lot of humor, and I enjoy it quite a lot. It's been a while since I've read it, maybe about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, so we'll be looking forward to doing a reread when I get the last couple volumes in. Next is Love of Kill, Volume 14. Yay! So Volume 13 was the finale volume for the main story. And this Volume 14 is an epilogue volume after the file, and I'm so glad that Yen Press printed this, translated and printed this for us. I'm never quite sure with epilogue volumes if they'll get translated and printed. After Daytime Shooting Star, the final Volume 13 didn't get printed in English, but Yen Press has been giving us the extras with like Horimiya as well. So this storyline of this volume is following immediately after the ending of Volume 13. And if you can't tell from the the aprons on the cover and the feather motif instead of the shards of glass on the cover, this one does have a bit more of a domestic vibe to it, though it does still have bits of crime as it follows a former assassin male lead and bounty hunter female lead. I love the color illustrations in this volume, but really happy to have this one. I read it immediately when I got it, and now the series is officially complete with this volume. And next is Tsubaki-chou, Lonely Planet, Volume 9. And this is another new release. It's one, again, that I haven't been reading as the volumes are releasing. I'm waiting until the physical release finishes to do a read-through. But I am looking forward to it as I do like this series quite a lot. The initial premise of this series is that this female lead is a high school student who starts working as a live-in housekeeper for this novelist when her father leaves to take some remote work and she wants to help with paying off her family's debts. But then these two characters start forming a bond over their past experiences and their views on loneliness. But I'm hoping that Yen Press will speed up the release of this a little, as it's only on volume 9 right now. And this is considering that 2 other releases that started around the same time as this one, Rainbow Days by Viz, is already through volume 14, and A Condition Called Love by Kodansha already has volume 12 coming out this month. But Tsubaki-chou is just at 9, so we'll get there. It's just taking a little while. Next, I have an art book and a guidebook, anime guidebook for Oshinoko. I recently did a binge read of the manga series in February, and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to pick up the art book because I really like the art style. So I got this art book. By the time that this video goes live, I think I'm going to try to have a flip through video of these 2 books. So go ahead and check out that flip through video if you want a closer look. I just did a pretty fast flip through, but I really enjoyed the manga, and I've been watching through the anime, and I'm at the end of season 2 now, so almost through season 2. We'll be looking forward to season 3. And I haven't collected the manga volumes yet. I'm intending to, but my husband and I already both read the whole series, so I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna wait as the physical release is still ongoing in English. So I think I'm going to wait until I can get a good deal, but Aqua is my favorite character, and then my next favorite character is Gotanda. So unfortunately, he didn't have any illustrations in the art book, so maybe in the next art book or in the next anime guide, he'll have a little bit more art that has him in it. But happy to add these to my collection. And then another series that I read recently, maybe about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? I binged this one and I loved it. I really enjoyed this series. It's another office workplace romance series, and it had some similar vibes to A Business Proposal, just because of the setting and both being Korean manhwa. It had a lot of comedy in it. The story follows this guy who is the VP at a company and is extremely egotistical and narcissistic, and he has a secretary who is amazing and just knows everything about him. She's been working for him for a decade and is his ideal secretary. And then just at the start of the series, she turns in her notice to leave the company because her priorities have changed as her goals have changed, and she wants to pursue marriage and focus on family instead of work with the rest of her life. So it follows a bit of comedy as he is just distraught at the thought of losing her. But I was really surprised as the series went on that it is not just entirely comedy and then some romance, but it had a bit of a kind of dark backstory and some tragic elements in it that I was not expecting. So this series made me laugh and made me cry, and I had to pick it up as soon as I finished reading it. And I am still looking for volume 2. The series is complete at volume 6, or at 6 volumes. And this is one that I wanted to buy the volumes in person because I looked at secondhand listings and a lot of them had damage to the spines. I don't know if it's because of the material for the covers or just that they're heavy because of the color pages. I forgot I wanted to do a little flip through since I have the volume 1. But I had wanted to buy these volumes in person so that I could find copies that were aligned and undamaged. And I couldn't find a volume 2, so I'm going to have to order one. But the art style is really cute. The male lead is really handsome. I really like the female lead. But I just loved their romance as the story went, and the side characters were funny as well. Their family members too. So this is the newest addition to my collection, the newest series that I'm adding to my collection. And then another one that I picked up when I was in the city was Under the Oak Tree, the novel, volume 1. I love this cover. I am caught up on the manhwa, the digital release of the comic, and I've been really eager to get into the novel as it is rated mature, and I'm kind of eager to get all the little extra bits that aren't in the manhwa release. So I haven't started reading this yet, but I'm really looking forward to reading it. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to collect the physical release of the comic. And it's not because I don't like it, but mainly because I think it's going to be pretty long because the comic is an adaptation of the novel. And from what I've heard about the amount of content in the first volume of the comic compared to just the novel length and how much is covered in it, it seems like it's going to be a long release. And I don't know yet if I'm ready to make that commitment of shelf space and cost. But I'm just going to continue following it digitally and picking up the novels as they're released. But this series is a historical fantasy series, which are genres that I'm typically not drawn to or really interested in. I got into the manhwa because it had been so hyped on Instagram, and I was just like, I don't think I'll like it, but I'll check it out just in case, to give it a try so that I know what it's about. And I really enjoyed it. The female lead is a bit of a damsel in distress because of her upbringing and her circumstances, but I really like her. And then I really like the male lead as well, so just appreciating them both as characters made the world that they were in pretty fun to learn about. So planning to get into this novel and get a bit more of the world and of the story that was not quite adapted in the comic. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm really excited to see the Volume 2 cover reveal when Inklore gets that for us because of how gorgeous the Volume 1 cover is. And I really hope that it's Riften and that he just looks as gorgeous as Maxie does on Volume 1. And then one last new release, and it is One Piece Volume 108. I just recently did a read-through of One Piece in January and February. This is my third year of reading through all of One Piece, but this year I only read through the end of Wano because I wanted to wait until the rest of the Egghead Island arc volumes released so that I could do that read-through of Egghead. From my physicals, as the last 2 times I've done my read-throughs, I just read them on the Shonen Jump app, the Egghead Island chapters, but I am caught up, the Elbaf chapters, so it's really exciting right now, the current chapters in One Piece, as the series is going to be concluding soon and everything is kind of coming to a climax, so really happy to be along for the ride. And while I'm talking about One Piece, I have a few fan art items that I got recently from a One Piece artist that I really like, and it was these 2 prints and a bunch of stickers. And if you've been watching my haul videos over the past 6 to 9 months, you will probably recognize the art style of this artist, as I have been getting their monthly mailouts of their ZoLu Mail. And I didn't subscribe until partway through 2024, so last year I did pick up in bulk their 2023 prints. And then I picked up the 2 prints from January and February of 2024 that I had missed out on. Oops. Because I wanted to have the full set of prints and stickers, because I really like this artist's art style and their passion for ZoLu. So I'm sad that their Patreon project for ZoLu Mail ended in December. They did a 2-year project. I'll go ahead and go through all the stickers that I picked up too. But they did say that they'll be doing a new project starting this summer, and I am really excited about it to find out what it is. I assume it's going to be One Piece related. So I'll just stay tuned and find out when everyone else does. But I'm really curious if it's going to be ZoLu-centric or just some other direction that they want to go into. Next, I have a few items that were gifted to me by a friend. I was so surprised because she was actually helping me to pick up a couple of these volumes that I wanted to make sure I could get pristine, aligned copies. So she volunteered to be a proxy for me, and then along with the volume, she also sent a couple other goodies. And one of those was this Sanji Jump remix, and I was so happy to see this. Like, I was squealing when I pulled it out of the box because this had been on my wish list. And I was intending to pick it up at some point. I just wasn't sure where to order it because I wasn't sure how big it was or how heavy it was, if it would be a good idea to pick it up from Japan secondhand, from Mercari Japan, or if I wanted to order it from Kinokuniya. But I don't often order directly from Kinokuniya, so I had just had it on the back burner, but I love it. So the Jump Remix volumes by character have the content from One Piece that is focused on that character. So since this is Sanji's, it starts with his childhood and with his family, with the Vinsmokes, and then meeting Zeph and the Baratier. And then so it goes, meeting Luffy. And I just love that it's like predominantly Mr. Prince. It predominantly shows his panels and his backstory and his fights, all collected together in this one book. And while it does have Sanji's childhood, which is in the Whole Cake Island arc, it doesn't go through. Yeah, I just double checked, and it doesn't go through past the time skip, so it just covers the content for like the first half of the series before the time skip, though it does have the Whole Cake Island sections of his backstory, just his backstory though. But I'm so happy to have this now. And I really hope that they'll do a second one too of the post-time skip content too. Maybe when the series ends. And then along with that, Sanji Jump Remix volume, this One Piece bookmark. Always grateful to have more bookmarks. And then she also picked up for me this special edition of Firefly Wedding Volume 1 in Italian. And this is so cool with this variant illustration, variant cover art on this dust jacket of this iconic scene. And I just love how the coloring is on it. Really dramatic. But I'm a big fan of this series, Firefly Wedding, and she had messaged me when she found out about the Italian variant cover, and I was thinking, that's so cool. I wish that we could get that in English. And I haven't even seen in Japanese for Firefly Wedding yet if they've done any variant covers. I haven't seen any. So I thought this was really neat. But then she got a copy for me as well, in addition to her copy. And I'm so happy. I already have a pretty big Firefly Wedding section on my shelves just of merch items because I really enjoy the series, even though in English we only have one volume so far. But this is going to go in that section and be a display so that I can enjoy this art. And then a few other items that she sent for me were really special. This one, because she made it, she crocheted it herself, of a volleyball in the colors from Haikyu of my favorite team. I still feel really awkward saying it because I always said MSBY, but then my most recent read through of the post-time skip chapters or the post-time skip volumes, it even says in the English release that it's pronounced Musubi. So I am like trying to remember because I always just think in my head MSBY, but Musubi colors. Because my favorite characters in Haikyu are Omi, Osamu, and Hinata. So this is really cool. And then some Polaroid prints that she printed for me of some of my favorite characters. So Omi, and then a few Firefly Wedding ones, that same cover illustration, and then Goto, and then Love of Kill, Ring Ha! And Sanji. So really happy to have all of these. It was such a surprise because I was only expecting just the 2 volumes that she was proxy buying for me. And then one more little care package that I got from a friend. It also had a Haikyu item in it. So this little animal sticker sheet of Haikyu characters, and of course, Omi. And I love that. Well, I guess it's not the case with all of them, but for Omi, I love when he's a little weasel because his high school team, their mascot is weasels. So I always love to see little art and fan art and merch of that. But I guess that's not the case because they're seals, not crows. But I don't know, because they're foxes. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, and he's a cat. I don't know, but he's so cute. And I believe that she said that this sticker sheet was from the same artist who did this pin of Weasel Omi that she also gifted to me. So guess I'm collecting Weasel Omi in all forms. And then she also sent this little leaflet, which is from the series Given, and this was, I believe, an extra from one of the anime box set releases, because it says DVD on here. But my favorite characters in Given are Aki and Haruki, and so I just love that this leaflet has these 4 bonus comics that are Aki and Haruki centric. So love this, really happy to have it. And then she also sent these little goodies. So she is honestly my Nendoroid stand supplier, because I don't think I've ever bought these myself, but I use quite a lot of them, and now I have these backup ones, and I'm grateful because I love them for using them for my Nendoroids. Okay, so they're on a regular Nendoroid base, but like Tokyo Revengers, I have them. 3 of my 4 Tokyo Revengers Nendoroids are on these little stands. I want to say, like, they become like a little tripod because you plug this into the back, and then it has these 2 feet, and then the front foot is like their bodies. But these are really handy because the bases that Nendoroids come with are pretty bulky and take up a lot of space, so we'll definitely make good use of these. I keep dropping them. And then she also sent this little collect book with this heart piece popped out and acts as a little charm, but mine is sport themed, and it was really cute because she found a set of these that were each different themed. So I got the sports one, and now that I'm sitting here, my mind is going blank, but she got one for herself with a different theme, and then one for another friend in a different theme. So the 3 of us have little matching collect books, and I still haven't decided yet what I'm going to put inside of it. But I had this little green penny loader or sleeve. So I put that in because it matched the colorway, but I think I'm going to use it maybe for something Haikyu themed, but I'm not sure yet because the sleeves are like PC sized rather than trading card sized. So I might just find some of the smaller fan art Haikyu items I have, like for Omi and Osamu, and put those in here. Or I might do a mix, I'm not sure, because I have a few sports series that I really love, like in addition to Haikyu, Oshi and Free and Dance Dance Dancer. So I just want to decide what to put in here that will fit, because it'll max out pretty quickly too. So I've been really conflicted. But this cute little item. And then I have a few more items left. The rest of the haul is going to be related to the series Bungo Stray Dogs. First is a fanzine that I got this week, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. I really like supporting fanzines because I love seeing just collections of art that I might otherwise not see. I am able to find new artists. And then also, they usually will have little fanfics too. This one also has recipes in it because this fanzine was cafe themed. So I'm really excited to go through and read the stories, the cafe themed stories, and to look at the recipes. I do like the art in it. Let me show my favorite one. This is my favorite one, this little trio. Pose so cute. Of course, Rompo, love them. But then I was happy to see too that Fukichi had art in here with the hunting dogs. cover up a little spoiler here in case you're not caught up. I was a little bummed that Fukazawa didn't have any fan art inside, so he's just here on this cover, but I haven't read the stories yet though, so he might be featured in one of the stories. But like I was saying, I just love that I can find new artists and new writers that I can go stalk their social media accounts, and it lists like their social media and if they have an AO3 account. But this one was really cool too because it was a charity project, so it supported a good cause, and that makes me feel a lot better spending my money on projects when I know that the proceeds will go to charity. So in addition to the book itself, I also got a few merch items that came with the bundle. So this little Chuya notepad, he's so cute. And this print. And it really is cute that everything is cafe themed and related to food. A couple sticker sheets. This one is really cute, like an age 15. Dazai Chuya. And then 2 die cut stickers. So cute. I'm trying to get it to focus. And so Oda is one of my favorite characters, so I was really glad to see that he was featured in the art because he is a kind of smaller like side character. He's not even in the main story of the manga. He's in a novel that has its own manga adaptation, but Oda and Dazai together are one of my favorite duos in Bungo Stray Dogs. So glad to have gotten this zine. I have a few other zines that are on the way. I'm just like weak to zines of series that I like this is a Bungo Stray Dogs one. And then also characters that I like One Piece has a Sanji zine in production. I recently got a Crocodile zine. And then actually this week, there is a Kakashi zine that is going to be open for pre-orders. So I'm going to be putting in a bundle pre-order for Kakashi goods. I'm really excited about that one, as I'm really late to Naruto in general, but I'm a big fan of Iruka and Kakashi, so really pumped that in 2025 there are still artists and writers that are hyped over Kakashi and going to be putting out new art and stories, so really looking forward to that. But the last item of my haul is another Bungo Stray Dogs related item, and it is a literature collection of Dazai called Self-Portraits that has a collection of some of his short stories. So last year in the beginning of 2024, I had recently caught up on the Bungo Stray Dogs anime, and I spent a few months reading through all of the light novels. And after I had caught up reading the light novels last summer, I started getting into literature by the writers that the characters in Bungo Stray Dogs are based on. So Dazai is a character in Bungo Stray Dogs, but he's based on a writer. And I read a few of his novels and novellas, and I actually had read already half of this collection, but I wanted to pick this one up to have some Dazai representation on my shelves. I ended up going with this collection so that I could have a variety of a few of his works, rather than picking up his iconic No Longer Human or his super emotional The Setting Sun, which are 2 of his works that I did enjoy quite a lot. But I just thought for myself, personally, when it came to rereading, I thought that I would find more joy in rereading some of these ones, like 100 Views of Mount Fuji. I really enjoyed My Elder Brothers, as they kind of highlight different moments in his life that were points of healing, as a lot of his life had heavy and dark moments. So I'm excited to go through and finish reading the stories that I haven't read yet, and to add this to my little Japanese literature collection. But this is everything over the past month, the past 4 weeks or so that I've picked up. glad I could finally share it on here, and now I can get them on my shelves, as I kind of just had them tucked away in a pile together so that I wouldn't forget about sharing them in a haul video. I have a few exciting manga pickups on the way, another series that I'm going to be adding to my collection that I'll be sharing in the next haul, and then I do have a proxy order from Japan that's on the way. And kind of unrelated, but kind of related, I finally bought a few nice binders that I'm going to be using for my paper goods displays for my predominantly manhwa merch, because I have quite a bit of like prints and clear files that just have been in piles and in envelopes together, and I'm really excited to have them in a binder so that I can actually flip through them and enjoy them. But I'm undecided if I'm gonna like film any content of putting that together yet or not, or if I'm just gonna do it off camera and just have it for myself. But those are some of the things that are gonna be happening the next couple of weeks with me, and hopefully in my next video, I'll be able to share some of that with you. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed as I went through everything. And as usual, if I picked up anything that you're interested in as well, let me know in the comments, as well as just anything else that you've been picking up lately or what you've been reading. But that's it for this haul, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Thanks for watching.